what is VME?
Sure. So VME is, for all intents and purposes, HPE's virtualization platform or product. It was born out of Morpheus Data, which came to life in 2014, and HPE acquired them in 2024. It's a cloud management platform, so you get your multi-tenancy governance with private and public clouds, provisioning, all that stuff that's really important to a large enterprise, especially in healthcare. Within that, the developers learned that there was an incredible hypervisor that was kind of the heartbeat and heart of this cloud management platform, being Morpheus, and they decided to go to market with that just for about a year. And so for VME, it of course is bringing that all together, right? And we're seeing not only SMB, mid-market, commercial, and enterprise, utilize this. So that is what VME is for everybody here that may be wondering or having those issues right now with their virtualization.
Great. Well, that's very helpful. Thank
Yeah.
you. And so to build on that, what are you seeing so much why are you seeing so much interest in this right now? And what's changed in the market for health systems that's bringing people to the table?
Sure. So as people may or may not be aware of, but the whole Broadcom acquisition of VMware, that's left a lot of people asking, what are our options now with, in some cases, a 3, 5, 7, and we're even seeing 15x increases in their renewals. They can't afford to continue with VMware, and VMware and Broadcom is like, too bad. We're focused on the top 2,500 global customers, and that's kind of how it's going to be. So there's been a lot of partners that have been thrown out, and of course, commercial, mid-market, SMB in particular, that do not have a virtualization standpoint. So they're looking at now this bare metal, KVM hypervisor that's Linux-based with the underbelly being Ubuntu, saying that this can be a great option for us. And we're seeing enterprise commercial clients come in droves and look at how they can do this migration, because that's the biggest part, is migrating those VMs and workloads to a better solution with what they've decided to do to so many of their client base.
Sure. So when these conversations are happening, what tends to resonate most? Are customers seeing the biggest impact once this is actually in place?
Oh yeah. So the biggest thing for clients that we're seeing is, again, to double click on that, is how can I do this migration successfully, right? So it's not only an economic decision, but they want optionality, right? So how can we, one, be secure and have a successful migration and get all of this into our new environment, right? So not only is VME an incredible virtualization alternative that people can start looking into, but they realize that the control plane of VME offers, a robust set of features that are going to be able to, I think in short order, be a one-to-one replica to VMware. And with the migration, it's doing a kind of a phased approach, right? So you don't have to throw the whole kitchen sink at it right away. You move your small to medium-sized workloads over, right? And that way you get a little bit of an economic breath and can do that with the small to medium-sized workloads. Leave your critical workloads on VMware so you have that coexistence, which a lot of companies are very happy with. And through time, they can move everything over to HPE's VM Essentials.
So as people are listening to this, they're probably thinking about their own environment. So who is really a good fit for this? And just as importantly, who might not need something like this? And what's the one thing that you want the audience to take away from all this?
Sure. I think this literally can touch and help every single enterprise, commercial, mid-market, SMB company that's out there, right? We have even large enterprise looking at VME as an alternative. So again, this can really help and touch every single segment that's out there, right? And I think the important piece to double click on is that you can do this in a phase approach. You have the optionality, right? Because people are looking for that clear migration path and successful migration, because that's what's keeping up a lot of people at night. And virtualization, along with AI and cybersecurity, are probably those three most important things that a CISO or CIO or a CTO are concerned about right now, right? So how can they do a successful migration? Again, moving those non-critical workloads over, giving them the flexibility to, again, coexist with VMware, leave those things there, and have that phased approach, right? But I think a big takeaway is that we're here, right? The VME product is very successful. A lot of customers are very excited about it. There's been some great implementations done in the short amount of time that we've been to market and been doing this. And the testimonials, I think, it kind of sells itself, right? Because again, for those folks looking for that bare metal KVM, in our terms, HVM solution, it's kind of checking all of those boxes for folks, which is great.
So what is some of the top feedback that you're hearing from people?
Yeah, I think it goes to the ease of use, the easeability, an incredible UI and UX experience, right? I think they want that like one-click easy to operate model that VMware gave, because VMware was the staple and is an incredible product, right? So we've got a lot of work to do to continue to kind of carry that flag and help with folks in this coexistence, right? And to be that alternative for people where they can say, okay, this really works. But successful migrations and, having the bare metal KVM option, which a lot of people want, I would say are just a lot of the feedback and testimonials that we're hearing.
Great. So what would be the top three things that you'd like people to take away that's most important regarding this?
Yeah, that you can, pretty much sleep at night knowing that with what VMware is doing, that there is an alternative out there, and for people to come check out and learn more about this, right? Go through a proper proof of concept, go through a demo, see how this can fit and help in your environment. Know that the migration is going to work and work well, and to not have that angst behind that as well. I would say those are probably like the two biggest things, right? And I think the third is knowing that you're in the company of a 60,000 person company and a machine like HPE behind it, right? When you have alternatives like Nutanix and Proxmox, also incredible companies, I just think HPE has so many of those elements that can really help a lot of folks that are going through this transition and are like, we need to find something because we can't afford a 7x increase in our renewal, and we need to reverse timeline this to make sure it fits within scope of what we're trying to do. So I think that would be the third, is you're in great company and have a great company that's been around for 100 years and is tried and true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like everyone to know about VME?
I think if folks can get the chance to go to HPE's Discover from June 15th through the 18th, we'll have, I think, many different booths and demos going on, and that's where, I think we're swamped from sun up to sundown with people really wanting to get their hands on this and see what the offering is. So I would say for folks that can get out and go to HPE's Discover, it's a great place to be able to get a little bit more intimate with VME and watch the progression happen in real time.
And where is that held?
I think Vegas.
Vegas,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.